After almost 2 years of putting this off, I finally decided to get the Priority 600 HXT set up and ready to ride. So of course I had to take it to the guys at Adventure Cycling, and just let me say, I regret waiting this long. I made the mistake of thinking this bike was too heavy to be a daily driver until I realized this bike has so much more to offer. We got this bike set up tubeless and some new bars with some new pedals, and now it's set up just the way I like it. All right, we headed to Floyd Hill now. Now the interesting thing is we're gonna see how this bike can climb with this belt drive and the weight. Now what I wonder is if you could put a nicer wheel on here without too much complication and get a little bit better engagement, because that's the only thing I see being an issue with this bike. Have a good one. All right, as you just saw from him, this is a little uphill right here. And this is why the engagement doesn't bother me. Let me show you. Because I'm not even on the bike right now. I can gear all the way down. I'm geared all the way down, and now I know I can just pedal up that super easy because I know I got more than enough gear range. This is a hill, and look. No effort, just because of how easy the gear ratio is. 600% better than a normal drivetrain. This actually makes climbing fun because you can just crawl up stuff because the gear range is so ridiculous. This is a little rock garden right here. As you can see, there's a little uphill on it. The camera doesn't really do it justice, but trust me, it's not as easy as it looks. And I'm gonna just crawl up this thing. I'm gonna go super slow in the lowest gear and just slowly crawl up it. If you got good tire traction, you'll be surprised at what this bike can do. And not even just the bike itself, it's just this pinion gearbox, but the bike is awesome as well. This pinion gearbox is just next level. Hopefully this can give you a little bit better perspective of what this is like. Now I'm geared all the way down. I'm gonna just crawl up it. Just ridiculous. That is crazy. People complain about the weight and the engagement, but trust me, the pros outweigh the cons. Look at this. I'll just slowly. That's actually ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's just so easy with this gear range. I'm telling you, once you ride this bike with the belt drive, if you don't care so much about engagement or things like that, riding a normal bike with the normal cassette and chain and all that just don't make sense no more. And I love those bikes, don't get me wrong, this is not a promotional video or anything like that. First of all, let me tell you why I haven't ridden this bike, because you're probably wondering that. So the reason I haven't ridden this bike is because, first of all, I got convinced that it was too heavy, and it's a large, because they didn't have a medium for me when they sent it to me. So I said, forget it, let's do the large. And I just assumed that it was too big for me, so I didn't ride it much. And I never got the tire set up tubeless, never got the bars I wanted on there. The bars that came stock were like way out here. So it was just a bunch of factors that I didn't feel like dealing with, that I overthought in my head. And then now riding this bike after I got the things I wanted done to the bike, this actually might be my everyday rider, even over the Trek Roscoe 9. That's how much sense this bike makes. Once you ride one, it's hard to go back. Like I said, if you don't care too much about engagement and things like that, it just don't make sense to ride something so technologically advanced and it switches gears so fast and so smooth. You don't ever have to worry about crunching gears or anything. It just don't make sense to ride a normal bike once you ride one of these. This bike was $29.99. It was originally $49.99, I think. Then it went down to $39.99, and then they had a flash sale for $29.99. I'm gonna see if I can get that sale back for you. I'm gonna ask them because I wanna give y'all another chance to get this bike. I can't not give other people an opportunity to get this bike who missed that sale. I'm gonna ask them and see what they say. And yeah, this might be more expensive, but if I'm gonna spend a lot of money, I'm gonna spend a lot of money on something that I know is gonna last long. I know I'm not gonna have any issues, because this thing, I think you only gotta put new oil in it maybe once a year. The belt lasts, I think 3 times longer than the chain. You got the frame right here where you break it so you can get the belt off. And I talked to some people, and that's not a weak point in the frame at all. The frame is still super sturdy. But look at this, you got wireless shifting, super smooth gears, and this is all you got in the rear of the bike. This is me being fully transparent. I'm not getting paid from commissions or anything with this bike. This is not a paid promotion. I just happened to see this bike for $29.99 a couple weeks ago, and I had to tell you about it. Because for $29.99 to get a pinion gearbox with wireless shifting and a Fox fork, that's an unbelievable price in my opinion. So I had to tell you about it, but no, I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is me just sharing information. Here's another little uphill rock garden little thing. Watch me just crawl up it. See what I mean? As long as you got right tire pressure and good grip, I'm telling you, you can climb up anything. We actually just got snow in the mountains the other day. We already got snow-capped mountains. It's not even October yet. Look at that view right there. That's awesome. Bikes are so good for the soul. Those of you that have been out here to Floyd Hill, you know that some of these switchbacks are not as easy as I'm making them look. But with this bike, it's a lot easier. So I could just chill right here. This is an uphill on the switchback. La 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 la. And then we can just take off. This is awesome. The best way for me to describe this, just no frills, no gimmicks, just something that just works and is a beast. How simple than that can it get? If you ever come out here to Floyd Hill and you're trying to decide which way to go, if you go right, that's a shorter way to the top. Not as fun, but you'll get to the top quicker. But if you go left, you get to have some fun on the way to the top. It is a little bit more climbing and it takes a little longer, but you get a lot more fun ride if you want to maximize your time out on the trail. But for us, we're going right today. We headed straight to the top. And I'm gonna do this climb right here. If you've been out here, like I said, these climbs are deceiving on camera. But if you come out here, they're a little more steep than you might think. So I'm gonna climb up this and see how easy it is. It's kind of loose. It rained a little bit, so I will get a little bit better traction. But I'm gonna climb up this and see how easy it is with this pinion gearbox. So this is one of the best features of the pinion gearbox, in my opinion. You can switch gears at a standstill. But one caveat is you can't switch the gears while you have pressure down on the pedals, as well as pedaling and switching gears. You gotta wait a split second and then switch the gear. But once you do it once or twice, you're like, this is nothing. This is just like switching normal gears. Now, I wouldn't normally start on an incline, but having this much gear range and being able to switch the gears while you're on the bike, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna get into gear right now. So I'm in gear, I'm at a standstill. I'm literally on an incline, don't need a run up, and we're gonna climb up this. And if you've been right here to this section, you know this is not easy, especially from a standstill. All right, so let's climb. And this is ridiculous. That's crazy. That is crazy. As Wolf Tick Videos likes to say, can this bike handle the Savage Rock Garden? Let's see. Oh yeah, no problem. Now it's time for me to tell you who I think this bike is for. And I'm not gonna tell you who it's not for, because I think a bike like this could benefit anybody. Now this bike is pretty much indestructible. And if I had to say who this bike was for, first of all, I'll just say it's for everybody, anybody and everybody. But let me be specific. So this bike, the frame is super solid. You got 2.6-inch tires, just ready to roll over anything, roll through anything. You got a Fox 34 fork on it, so it can handle all the bumps and everything you might run into. But the most important thing is this belt drive and the pinion gearbox. Now, if you want something that takes the guesswork out of everything, where should I ride this? How should I ride this? This is the bike for you, because you can literally jump on this bike and do whatever you want to do on this bike, from riding around your neighborhood to ripping through trails like I'm about to do right now. But the only thing I will say, and it's an easy adjustment if you wanted to ride around town and you didn't really want to take it out on trails like this, you can put faster rolling tires on here, which mean less grip. So you can get faster rolling tires on here, get you through the city, get you through anywhere on this bike, because it has mounting points on it everywhere, so you can store racks and get groceries and everything with this bike. So this is a bike that you could go mountain biking, but also go grocery shopping with. This is crazy. So for them to come out with a bike like this, I think it's just meant for any and everybody. I mean, if I was to spend $3,000 on a hardtail, out of everything I've seen, and me being specifically a mountain biker for the most part, I would get this because of the multi-uses you can get out of it. I mean, you can rip these trails on the same bike you go run errands and go grocery shopping on. I mean, I feel like that's pretty incredible. So I think this bike is for any and everybody. If you want to take the guesswork out, you just want a bike that you can get on, start pedaling, and you know it's just going to work. Easy to switch the gears, no thought into lubing the chain, fixing a derailleur or anything like that. It don't get no better than this.